All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Throttle Theory. This is your boy Jay. Today we're taking out the MT-07 with Moto Jugs in this 2024 BMW S1000RR. We're going to go do some filming for you guys today, and today the topic of conversation is motorcycle preparedness, how to be a prepared rider, why it's important, and the benefits you're going to get from checking off all those boxes, making sure you're taking safety first. Ultimately, it's going to increase your confidence and, well, the enjoyment of the ride overall. So today we're going to ride downtown. Thanks for joining us. Let's do it. Yeah, this bike's really quiet. So to all you viewers, I have Moto Jugs on the Cardo. We've got Cardo Pack Talk Neos on the helmet. Which side's it on? Left side, I think. Yeah, there we go. So we have communications up, which is actually one of the talking points we're going to go over today. So stay tuned for that. First time. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, like I said, to Throttle Theory. My name is Jay. Today we're talking about motorcycle preparedness and safety. Everyday carry, what it means to be a prepared rider. So let's start by talking about that. What does it actually mean to be a prepared rider, and what steps can you take to get there? First and foremost, being a prepared rider just means being aware of your surroundings, making sure you're covering all your bases by wearing all the proper gear, and taking care of some of those essential tools and items you might need to carry with you on the bike. So, safety first. Essential equipment. First thing, you're going to have your helmet, right? This is the RF1200 by Shoei. You can see I'm wearing an armored reflective riding jacket. I've got my gloves, and of course, boots. Today I'm wearing pants as well. I don't have my armored jeans on, but you know, whatever. Important to have the proper gear for those safety reasons. You never know when someone's going to pull out in front of you, and I can't tell you how many close calls I've had where people are just not aware of you on the road, so having the right equipment is essential. This is not an essential thing, but a first aid kit is always nice to have. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you do get in an accident, or if you need, I don't know, basic medical care for some reason, REI is actually great with their ultra-light first aid kits. Something I take on my camping trips with me, actually, with bandages and ibuprofen and other bare essentials. So if you're somebody who's a preparedness snob, having a first aid kit is actually very important. Essential tools on the bike, things like a multi-tool, like an 18 to 21 piece multi-tool. I actually have a Gerber on the bike in my tank bag here, and a number of Allen wrenches under the back seat. So if you need to make essential adjustments on the bike while you're riding, mechanical, whatever it might be, having those tools with you is paramount, because you don't want to be found out on some back road 100 miles from civilization without the proper tools. Finally, on the safety piece, there's one thing that I am a huge proponent of, and that is having a firearm when you ride. And I have mine currently in the tank bag on the bike. So I keep a 9mm on the motorcycle, obviously not all the time, but when I ride I make sure to stow it so that I have something on me, because we've all seen those videos of people coming up to other motorcyclists on the road and pointing a gun in their face and attempting to steal the bike right there in the middle of traffic. Nobody's going to step up to protect you. You have to be prepared to protect yourself. So while that might not apply to all motorcyclists, once again, I just want to say I am a huge advocate of having a firearm on you when you ride. Next thing, tech and gadgets. So a lot of us are tech nerds, just like myself. And when it comes to technology, there's a few things you're going to want to have on you on your bike at all times, right? Number one being your phone. You always want to have communications whenever you're out on the motorcycle in case something were to happen. Talk to your buddies, send a text, or listen to music. Now, Quadlock is an awesome company. They make a lot of versatile phone mounts for a lot of different things, including motorcycles. And we're going to have a Quadlock set up right here on the bike here at some point in the future. We'll get the handlebar mount. We just don't have it set up yet. Jugs, however, does have the Triple Tree Quadlock mount on his bike. And once again, great opportunity to be able to see your music, see text messages, phone calls that come through, and you can pair that with a Bluetooth communicator like this. This is the Cardo Pack Talk Neo. Jugs and I both have the same headset. Jugs was actually nice enough to buy this to help support the channel. So we have intercom the entire time we ride. But additionally, you can take phone calls, listen to music, things like that. I actually have it hooked up with some earbuds and the microphone right inside the face mask. Things like an extra battery for GoPro or battery chargers for your cell phone, those are more non-essential. Of course, if you're going to be using them a lot, you can certainly carry them on you. As you guys can see, I do have my Climb backpack, KLIM backpack on me. This is my hardware backpack that I carry every time I ride. And this is going to hold like all my extra camera equipment. This is going to hold my tripods and a couple of miscellaneous items that I might need when I'm out on the road, or if I decide to stop somewhere. Action cameras. So action cameras are not just intended to be used for shooting for a YouTube video like this one. Action cameras are more aligned with safety and security as well. The reason I say that is because think of any overland trucker you've seen or 18-wheeler on YouTube that's driving on the highway. Somebody makes a move in traffic that that trucker is not prepared for, or that motorcyclist is not prepared for, cuts them off, and there is an accident that ensues. Ways that you can protect yourself legally and from a safety perspective is to be recording your rides. Now, if you need to refer to them later for legal reasons or whatever. In this particular case, I've got a GoPro Hero12 Black on my chin and a Hero10 Black right here on the handlebars. And these two cameras combined give me not entirely a 360-degree view, but a pretty good set of coverage for both angles when I'm riding on the motorcycle. It is game day today. We just rode past Jaguar Stadium in downtown Jacksonville, and it looks like there is about to be a game kicking off, probably around 1 o'clock, I imagine. Next thing on the list, we're going to talk about personal effects. So obviously you're going to want to have your wallet on you. Make sure you have your license when you're riding. If you like to carry a pocket knife or a flashlight, things like that on your person, I do personally carry a Benchmade pocket knife on me, which I have on me all the time, every time I leave the house. So cell phone, pocket knife, wallet, all those items essential when you get on the bike and roll out for the day. Weather gear. Now in this particular case, it's a little bit overcast today, so hopefully the rain holds off and we don't have to worry about getting rained on. But if you do have the ability to keep some weather gear on you, if you do have the storage capacity to keep small, lightweight rain gear on you, it's certainly advised, especially in a state like Florida where, like this, it could rain at any time. And being able to layer up when you need to is very nice. Lastly, when it comes to being a prepared rider, let's talk about mental preparedness. So when you get on the bike, no one cares about your safety more than you do, man. So I'll say this. Having a clear state of mind when you start the bike up is very important. A few ways you can do that. Prepare. Every time I get on this bike, I like to plan the route, kind of, or at least plan a relative destination where I know I'm going to be going. So I like to get on Google Maps, find a destination, something I've never seen before. And I like to, in my head, kind of map out a route to get to that destination. So that gives me a general idea of where I'm going so I don't get lost, things like that. I also like to listen to music at times. I do have the Cardo set up, so I like to keep music on quietly so I can make sure that I can hear my surroundings while I'm on the road. So my music is never blasting, really, unless I'm literally not around traffic at all. But generally speaking, I like to have quiet music playing in the headset. Just kind of keeps your mind clear, keeps you in a positive state of mind, helps you make good decisions. Last but not least, you always want to make sure before you get on the bike that you are checking your oil levels, check your brakes, check your controls, make sure that everything on the bike is functioning the way that it's supposed to before you get on. Because the last thing you want to have happen is the bike be functioning incorrectly when you're halfway down the road. So, PMCS your equipment, people. I like to do a before ride and after ride. One of those things in particular is security, so I'll share a quick story with you. A couple of years ago, I had a Honda 300L, the dual sport, and I didn't really have any security provisions set up for that bike. I didn't have GPS, I didn't have brake lock, and I didn't have my disc lock. And that bike was actually stolen right out of my garage, right from the house. One night when I was giving my son a bath, putting him to bed, somebody walked up onto my property and broke the steering lock on the motorcycle, walked it right off the property, down the road, loaded it into the back of a truck, and it disappeared forever. There is a happy ending to that story, and I'll share that with you in just a minute. The point is, you want to make sure you protect your valuable equipment, because these motorcycles are going to cost you between $6,000 and $8,000, right? At least. Sometimes it might even cost you a little bit more. Like Motojugs' bike is like $30,000. If you have a motorcycle, I don't care what the value is, take steps to protect your investment. One of the ways that you can do that, you can get a front brake lock. So when you park your bike in the garage, there is a clamp that is a key, and you can clamp your front brake lever to the throttle, and that'll keep the front brake locked when the bike is parked. Here you go, Main Street, hang a right. Another way you can do it is use a disc lock. So on the front and rear discs, if you have slotted disc brakes, which most motorcycles do these days, there is a small piston device, and I'll put pictures or links for these items down in the description so you guys can look them up. There's a small piston lock you can put through the slotted rotors on the bike that will prevent the tire from spinning when it's parked. These are two very simple security mechanisms you can use to protect your investment when it's parked. The last thing, and arguably the most important, is a GPS. Now, I have Moto on this bike. I have a GPS underneath the seat. So obviously you want to put it somewhere where it's not very accessible, so somebody can't just walk up to your bike, pry the back seat off, and remove the GPS. Put it somewhere where it's not going to be easily accessed. But having a GPS will give you that peace of mind that if something were to happen to your bike, you'll know exactly where it is at all times. So once again, guys, I just want to stress to you the importance of being a prepared rider. Obviously, some of those items, like having a firearm, that may not be for everybody, especially if you're not a huge advocate for weapons. But I will say that being properly prepared will give you that enjoyment and confidence when you're on the road. Having the proper gear, having the proper tools, wearing all the proper equipment is going to make sure that your experience is as enjoyable as possible. And who knows, you know, maybe one day you guys will start your own motovlog channel, have your own recording devices, and you can do something like this. Shoot your own video, give tips of your own, because I'm sure a lot of you out there have been riding longer than I have, 15 years myself, at least legally. And I'm sure a lot of you have great opinions to offer. So if you have not done so already, I would really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end. Motojugs and I are about to hit a parking garage here in downtown Jacksonville, Florida. Beautiful overcast day today, and we're going to do some shots of the bikes. So until next time, guys, stay safe. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Throttle Theory. My name is Jay. We'll see you guys later.